Back in 2024, officers from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission made a mistake that was so dumb that it changed the entire state's search and seizure laws in a big way. This is 36-year-old Florida resident Michael Arrieta. Michael was the global vice president, general manager, and chief of staff to the CEO at a company called DocuSign, which handles digital documents and contracts and has a market cap of $40 billion and about 5,000 employees. Michael has a strong resume working in the upper echelons of the corporate finance world, and he currently serves as the founder and CEO of Garden City, which is a buyout holding company that has raised $40 million of permanent capital to, quote, buy, grow, and forever hold service companies across the Southeast. Michael is also an elder at his church, well known in the community, and highly connected within the Florida state government. On August 21st of 2024, Michael decided to take his family out on the Loxahatchee River, which runs through the heart of Jupiter, Florida. As Michael and his family were returning to their home dock, Officer Stiltner and Officer Gilmore of the FWC spotted Michael allegedly running on full plane in a slow speed zone, which is basically the boating equivalent of speeding. The FWC officers initiated a stop on Michael's vessel, and what happened next would change the entire landscape of how officers interact with citizens on the waters of Florida.
Say again? Hey, you're gonna have to trim your motors up and go slow. Watch out. We'll meet you there. Yeah, we'll meet you there at the dock. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's slow speed. But not here, right?
Yeah, all right here, slow speed minimum weight.
Out of the channel and past that sign. With slow speed.
Are you the owner of the vessel?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the registration on board?
Do you want me to just stop the boat and get it?
Yeah, just put it in neutral. Cap, I think you might be in reverse there, sir.
You guys want to go back by my house over there? How far away is it? It's just the first canal. Alright, yeah, let's go in there. I'll let you tie up and then we'll talk to you about it.
Dude, he's not paying attention to where he's going. He almost ran into that shoal sign. He put the vessel in reverse when I told him to put it in neutral. He's all over the place. Well, I told him to trim up and he just like looked at me. Oh, right. Say again?
Yeah, you won't see anything on the boat record just because I've only taken it out a couple times so far.
Okay.
You want to see that?
What's your name? It's back to an LLC. Okay. Do you have your ID?
Yeah.
Are you a Florida resident?
Oh, what?
A Florida resident?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Alright, now I want you to pay attention to what happens next because this will become kind of important later in the story. So after stopping Michael for allegedly going too fast in the no-wake zone, the officers run him through a checklist of safety and compliance inspections where they demand to see several items and inspect the vessel's registration. It's kind of like a traffic stop, but even more intrusive. And here's what that looked like for Michael.
Well, we got you there. Do you have a life jacket for every person on board besides the little ones?
Yes, I do.
You mind showing that to me real quick?
No problem, officer.
And then a Type 4 throwable while you're in there, fire extinguisher, sound producing device,
Yeah.
all that kind of good stuff. No, just open the zippers for me. Okay, and then do you have a Type 4 throwable?
What is that?
Like a square cushion or a throw ring? Either one. That's the one. Cool. Yep.
And then what else do you need around you?
Fire extinguisher, sound producing device.
Fire extinguisher. Yeah.
I never seen a police on a boat before.
You never seen a police on a boat before?
Yes,
No.
Do you have a bell horn or a whistle on the boat? Turn
whistle.
into his stern. Hard, yeah. Aha. Cool.
Do you need
So you just take a look at the gauge. Just turn the gauge towards me. There you go. Cool.
You could all, I know you're not part of Jupiter Police, but you could Officer Jimenez and ask about me. Support you guys and everything.
Okay. Do you work for Jupiter PD or?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Just
okay.
something with the state.
Say again?
Just something with the state, officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we work for the state, so.
Okay, great.
Yep.
So, yeah, the big.
Wait.
All on the same team.
There you go. Bell, horn, or whistle.
I don't know what a bell horn is. What's a bell?
I'm sorry?
What's a bell horn?
A bell, horn, or a whistle.
What is a bell horn?
Bell, comma, horn. Or a whistle.
Oh, got it.
Does the boat have a horn?
No, I said I don't have a bell or a horn.
Yeah, does the bell have a horn?
Yes.
Or does the boat have a horn, rather?
You want me to hit it for you?
Yep, that works. That'll do it.
So as you can see, these safety and compliance inspections often result in a full-scale plain view search of the vessel, especially if the vessel is a small civilian craft like this one. And the worst part about this is that these FWC officers didn't need any kind of reasonable suspicion of any crime to stop Michael and make him perform these safety checks. And even though they had claimed to have seen him going too fast in a no-wake zone, they could have done this anyway without having seen that. At the time, both federal law and Florida state law allowed officers to basically conduct warrantless safety checks on any boater for no reason at all. In fact, in the 1982 Florida Supreme Court case of State versus Casal, the court plainly stated that, quote, subjecting boats to random spot checks for fishing permits or registration certificates does not seriously circumscribe the Fourth Amendment. For decades, Marine-based law enforcement have had the authority to conduct these warrantless safety checks on unsuspecting boaters, and these checks often result in further investigations, or what we like to call fishing expeditions, pun intended. It's basically a green light to commit pretextual stops, and that's exactly what happened here. So naturally, once Officer Stiltner confirmed that Michael was in fact in compliance with the safety and registration requirements, he then shifted the focus of his investigation to determining whether or not Michael was under the influence of any drugs or alcohol.
And how much have you had to drink today?
Zero.
Zero?
Zero.
Okay, because you're kind of, are you nervous around law enforcement or something? Or is it your first time on the boat?
No, yeah, I'm not typically on boats, to be honest with you.
No, okay. All right, I kind of want to check out your eyes, just make sure you're okay to operate, because you've kind of given me some weird things here. So, do you mind me taking a look at your eyes real quick?
Take a look at my
All right, do me a favor, just throw on that life jacket right there, and I'll just have you come over here for me real quick, okay?
I keep telling him to pay attention, but he keeps looking back at us.
You keep telling him to pay attention. He should definitely pay attention.
That is
Hey,
very
do me a favor, secure that life jacket all the way for me. All right, just keep your head still and just look at my top of my finger here with your eyes and your eyes only, okay?
So Michael reluctantly complied with the HGN test, hoping that this would be a simple way to prove that he was not intoxicated. But as I'm sure you all know, it's never that simple.
All right. Nope, sit back down. Sit back down. All right. I got a few more tasks here for you, if you're willing to cooperate with that.
I'm not willing to cooperate.
Okay.
What more tasks would you ask of me?
There are standardized field sobriety tasks that are going to help me determine your level of impairment.
My level of impairment.
Correct.
And for what reason did you see that I would be impaired at all? One reason.
Yeah, so stumbling with your fingers, trying to get those zippers open on your bag. When I told you to show me the gauge for the fire extinguisher, you weren't able to turn it to me without knowing. I had to ask you again to turn it towards me. I asked you multiple times for a bell, horn, or whistle. I said bell, horn, or whistle. And then you said, what's a bell horn? And I said, a bell, horn, or whistle. And you again said, what's a bell horn? And I said, bell, comma, horn, or whistle. And then you a third time also said, I don't know what a bell horn is. And then I asked if you had a horn on the boat, and then you were able to press the horn on the boat. So again, a few things that are a little bit off, plus you're having nystagmus with your eyes. So I just want to make sure that you're okay to drive.
Once again, Michael makes the fatal mistake that nearly all DUI suspects make, which is assuming that the field sobriety tests are going to somehow prove his innocence. As I've said on many occasions, it is my opinion that there is pretty much no circumstance where participating in a field sobriety test is actually going to help you in some kind of way. And these tests are largely designed to gather evidence, not actually prove anyone's innocence. But the majority of people don't know that, and officers prey on that lack of knowledge all the time to help build their case. And that's exactly what began to transpire after Michael reluctantly agreed to continue with the test. That said, Michael didn't just blindly comply, and he exposed the coercive nature of taking these tests by asking one simple question.
What happens if people deny?
I have to advise them of their Taylor warning, which says I have to make my arrest decision based off the indicators that I've seen so far, and any declining to do the SFSTs can be held against you in court.
Okay, so if I decline to do 2 more,
Yeah.
say that one more time.
Yep, I have to base my arrest decision based off the indicators that I've
Before
seen
that,
so
you said a
far.
warning?
I'm sorry?
Before that, you said some sort of warning?
It's called the Taylor warning.
Taylor
Correct.
warning?
Yep. So the 2 parts of the Taylor warning is I have to base my arrest decision based off the indicators that I've seen so far, and failure to comply with the SFSTs can be held against you in court. Okay?
Great.
So do you wish to continue? Okay.
And this is a perfect example of what many citizens are subjected to when these random safety checks evolve into further investigations. But that's just the beginning. Officer Stiltner began a series of tests that were so obscure, convoluted, and complicated that even he couldn't remember them at times.
All right. That's what I'm going to have you do for me. You're going to go ahead and make a fist with both hands. Place your left fist at the center of your chest and your right fist against your left fist. Okay? It's going to look like this. Boom, boom. Cool. Remain in this position while I explain the task. Do you understand?
Yep.
Okay. When I say begin, you're going to perform 4 tasks. Okay? The first task is to count out loud from 1 to 4 while you move your fists in a step-like fashion, making contact at your fist between each step. It's going to look like this, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Nope, stay in that position. Okay? Put your left fist against your chest. Yep, stay right there. Don't move. Keep your feet where. Second task is to memorize the position of your fist after you've counted to 4. Clap your hands 3 times and return your fist to the memorized position, okay? So you'll be here 3 times, back to the memorized position, okay?
Hold on. So you want me to do it a couple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
And then clap.
So I can repeat it for you, okay?
Can you repeat it?
Let me do this. Let me finish reading it all the way through, then I'll show you the whole thing, okay?
I did really bad in my SATs and ACTs.
Okay. It's only 4, all right? So you want me to just start over from right now?
Start over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from the resting position, which you're in currently, okay? The first task is to count out loud from 1 to 4, counting when your fists make contact at each step, okay? Step-like fashion. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay? The second task is going to be to memorize the position of your fist. Count 3 times and return your fist to the memorized position.
Okay.
Your third task is going to be to count your fists in reverse order, okay?
Exactly. You got to remember too. It's hard.
But listen, we read it for a reason,
Exactly.
okay?
So Michael completed all the tests, and he seemed to perform the task successfully, to the untrained eye at least. But according to Officer Stiltner, he met the criteria for an arrest.
So I'm going to have you to stand up for me, okay?
That was the last one, no?
Yeah, put that one down.
You can show that was the last one?
Yep. Turn around for me. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Voting under the influence, okay?
Please, I have not had a single thing.
Well, you're showing signs of impairment, okay?
Google me. I don't touch anything.
Okay, listen, brother, you're showing extreme signs of
I'm
impairment,
nervous.
okay?
You're nervous.
I'm nervous as
Listen.
heck. I have all my kids.
Okay, that has nothing to do with your eyes, okay?
My eyes breathalyze me. Do anything. Check
we will.
everything in there.
All right, listen.
I don't have
I'm going to
anything.
give you an opportunity to, okay? You need to calm down right now, okay? Turn around for me. What is on your person right now?
On my person?
Yeah, what do you have in your pockets?
I have
all that
nothing,
kind of stuff.
officer.
You
Zero.
have nothing at all.
Zero.
Okay.
Nothing.
He has your ID, right?
Yes. If you search my butt, if you search the boat, there's nothing you will find. Nothing.
Yep.
You could run a drug test on me. You could search it, search the cooler, do
Listen.
anything. I have nothing.
So, you are going to get an opportunity to provide a breath sample, okay?
Great. I will gladly do it.
You won't be able to do that until you get to the jail, okay? You are going to have an 8-hour hold, and then you can be released on your own recognizance.
Okay. How do I refuse this if I
You
know
can
that I did not?
You can refuse
So
the
what are
breath
all my
sample if
options
you like
right
to.
Yep. And what are all my options right now?
So when we get to the jail, we'll discuss the rest of those options, okay? Right now, you have no options. Your options are you're going to go to the jail.
Okay. For
Voting under the influence while normal faculties are impaired.
okay. What normal faculties did I just pass or fail?
All of the things that I just did. So all of those tasks your nystagmus in your eyes, the pre-indicators that I saw in your vessel that we already discussed.
Didn't I just pass all those tests?
None. Zero.
What do you mean
When you're
none?
wrong, what happens?
Excuse me?
When you're wrong with this, as you are, what happens?
I haven't been
Do
yet,
you get in trouble?
but so if I was wrong,
for you to be
his
wrong.
charges will be dropped. Yeah.
Sir, so
Yeah,
let me,
and do you know what? You're going to
Sir.
get in deep shit.
sir, so let me tell
Well,
you something.
probably not, but that's okay.
Sir, so, okay, if you Google me, I'm on Governor Ron DeSantis' council.
Okay.
Okay, if you reach out to the chief in Jupiter and you tell him that you're with me, we were with him last night. He's Dan and Shay that's doing the concert tomorrow night. You could search me, you could search the house, you could search everything. I'm an elder at the church right down the street at Jupiter, at Family Church where his bus is parked right now. I'm with my 3 children right now.
Bro, listen to me. You know how badly I wish I didn't have to do this in front of your kids right now?
I don't
But
think
I do
so.
not have an option, brother.
No, 'cause you're dead.
Trust me.
You're
Okay.
dead.
Well, you don't know anything about me. First of all, I am doing my job. You guys are blowing through a manatee zone, okay, which is a slow speed zone with your kids on the boat. If you'd have hit that sandbar at full speed, you could have launched all 3 of your kids out of the front of the boat, okay, which is why we do what we do.
Yeah,
So
but
it
you're
wasn't
saying that
like you
under
weren't
the
doing
influence.
anything at all.
You're saying
Correct.
I'm under the influence.
Based off of the interaction with you that I'm having right now, your normal faculties are impaired.
What?
You will get an opportunity to provide a breath sample at the jail, okay? That is where we're going right now, okay?
Okay,
That's it.
so you said you have not been wrong yet, right?
Excuse me?
You said you have not been wrong yet.
Not yet, luckily.
No, congratulations, you're super wrong.
I hope so, brother.
Dude, you are. Like there's
I
nothing,
hope so, but
like,
listen.
What do you, like, look at me. Do you think that I'm someone that's going to be on what? On what sort of thing do you think I'm
I
going to
don't
be
know you, brother. I don't know you.
on? Don't call me brother because you're not my brother. If
Okay.
you're my brother, you would understand I am for you. I am with you. I'm for everybody. Like I've never been arrested in my life. This is crazy, man.
Right.
I run a Christian private equity company and I serve on the state of Florida, for crying out loud. This is crazy. I'm in my church. Like, I'm the furthest thing from this and you're arresting me for no reason.
I hope that that's the case. I don't know what else to tell you, but your faculties are telling me otherwise, and I have to do my job. You understand that?
But your faculties, you're not. You're not.
Your
because
faculties, not mine.
Yeah, the faculties are incorrect. And you said your body cameras were on the whole
It's
time.
been on the entire time. Yes, sir.
So it's been crazy. Like, it's been crazy that I have not failed one thing. I did the bunch of hand things you told me to, touch the nose. Not one of those that I failed.
So listen, you're being, and I'll tell you, okay?
Like, I'm begging you, man,
You're-
you down for one night.
Listen, you're being respectful to me, so I'm going to be as respectful with you as I can be, okay? Here's the deal, okay? Nothing that we went over is pass or fail. You either do well or you don't. You either show the amount of indicators that the state of California and San Francisco
Yeah.
University has determined.
Well,
It determines
we
impairment.
can start there.
Okay.
We can start there. If you
You're
think
more
that-
than welcome to
if you-
petition
no,
the
but I'm
United
saying-
States government. 'Cause
I'm
these
saying
are
if you think
national.
California's correct. then-
Yeah, these are
I
national
get it.
standardized field sobriety
I get
tasks.
it.
Okay, I didn't nothing.
I get it.
Everything that I did here, none of this is made up off
Yeah,
the
but
top
you
of my
look at
head.
me right now,
Okay,
you know I'm not impaired at all.
But-
You know it.
but I wouldn't. Well, I'm sorry. I'll stop calling you brother. I wouldn't have even asked you on my boat if I didn't think something weird was going on.
I was
okay?
nervous, man. I'm super nervous.
That's
right
why I
now.
asked. Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and my pride didn't want to admit it.
Okay. Well, you know it. You're showing too many impairment factors right now that I have to go with my best judgment.
It's gonna be bad. I just know, like,
Excuse me.
it's gonna be really bad.
What's that?
This, because I know myself. It's just, I'm not gonna. I hate injustice. I hate injustice, and what this just did to in front of my kids, and me not touching ever a drug. Obviously, zero alcohol. That means I'm 100% picture perfect. And me getting arrested in front of my 3 kids.
Listen, I've already.
Yeah, no. I know what you're saying. But, like, I will make it my life's mission for justice to be served. Like 100%.
Okay.
I just know that.
You know that's what I've dedicated my life to that.
But no, but you're doing injustice right now.
Well, I hope that that's true. If that's true, then I made a mistake, and
Correct.
and then
Yeah.
and then those charges will be dropped. But right now, I have to go based off of my experience and training, which says otherwise. Do you understand that?
No, I don't agree at all. Because
You don't have to agree.
I
Do
think
you understand what I'm
I think you
saying?
were looking for a reason to show your power on your boat and in front of others. And
Trust me.
I don't.
This is the last thing that I want to do.
I don't believe that. I
I
don't.
promise. This is the last thing I want to do.
You can promise. I don't believe it.
We
because
came out here to work fish cases.
Just stop talking.
Michael was arrested and taken to jail, where he voluntarily submitted to a breath test that showed that his blood alcohol content was 0.0%. Michael was released without charges later that day, but it is unclear whether or not he actually had to stay for the 8-hour hold. In the weeks following the encounter, the body camera footage was leaked online and it quickly went viral in Florida. It has been widely reported that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis had a private meeting with Michael on January 29th, 2025, and about 2 months later, Governor DeSantis announced that he would be drafting legislation to stop officers from conducting random safety checks.
The bill will also right a wrong that has been an issue for far too long, and will finally bring it to an end. Current law allows both state and also local law enforcement to pull a boater over when no probable cause or suspected violation has occurred, and they can conduct inspections without having even a pretext to do so. This could include personal property searches, sometimes leads to further law enforcement action beyond safety compliance. While laws previously passed have attempted to solve this, the problem persists, and our voters let us know that the problem persists. Therefore, as part of the Boater Freedom Act, we will end this practice by prohibiting the use of a safety inspection as probable cause to pull over a boater. You have to have real probable cause if you want to pull over a boater, and that's going to be the law in the state of Florida.
The bill was formally introduced on March 10th, 2025, and it was enacted on May 19th, 2025, after a relatively short and uncontested journey through the Florida legislature. And on July 1st, 2025, the Boater Freedom Act took effect and ended decades of marine-based, unwarranted law enforcement inspections. Every officer operating under the authority of the state of Florida is now banned from making a stop on a vessel unless they have probable cause that a crime has been committed, which is a huge step forward for constitutional rights on the water, if you ask me. But it should be noted that this only applies in Florida and the officers who are operating under that state's authority. This does not affect a federal agency, like the Coast Guard, for example, from conducting these random warrantless safety checks, because this is still authorized under federal law. But it's a step forward nonetheless, and it drastically changes the lives of many citizens in Florida, which has the highest concentration of boats in the country, at least according to Governor DeSantis. Alright, and now for some takeaways and my ranting bullshit that you guys always sit through for whatever reason. First of all, this may be somewhat of a superficial observation, but I think it's just extremely reckless and dangerous to handcuff someone while they're in a boat, regardless of whether or not they're wearing a life jacket. I mean, just imagine all the ways that that can go wrong. And you would think that police boats would be outfitted with some kind of apparatus that was specifically designed to handcuff people to, instead of just restraining both of their arms behind their back. Now, I could understand if Michael had been a non-compliant suspect or suspected of some kind of egregious crime, but the handcuffing here seemed entirely unnecessary and dangerous, especially considering that Michael posed no threat to these officers. Also, it seems kind of insane to me that someone suspected of a DUI would be required to be held for 8 hours, even if they pass a breathalyzer test. And Officer Stiltner's logic of "we don't carry the breath test because they're not good evidence" is just absolutely absurd. Whether a breath test is administered in the street, at the jail, or on the water does not change its evidentiary value. And it just seems extremely wasteful and burdensome to take citizens who are suspected of a DUI to jail without doing a breathalyzer first. While I do understand that a breathalyzer can't test for other possible intoxicants, if alcohol is the suspected substance, then issuing a breathalyzer could prevent false arrests based on officer observations pretty easily. And this leads me to my next point, which is that sober people get arrested for DUIs all the time. And it's almost to the point of being an epidemic in this country. And not only are these people dealing with the false DUI accusations, but they're also dealing with all these ridiculous protocols that these departments have put in place for handling DUI suspects, like that 8-hour hold that Michael was threatened with. Like they say, you can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride, which is basically just another way of saying that the process status is the punishment for some people. I can only imagine how many people have been arrested for not providing their ID or some other bullshit during one of these unwarranted safety checks, and it's good to see state leadership taking this seriously. It would be really nice to see other states with a large marine economy take steps to preserve constitutional rights on the water like this. Now I'm looking at you, California. All right, and I have one last point I want to share about this story. While it's always good to cover a story of a citizen who had a bad interaction with the police and then went on to make some real change as a result of that experience, we can't just look past the fact that Michael was well connected and financially stable, to say the least. This went from a bad police interaction to changing the entire state's laws in less than a year. But we've seen time and time again on this channel where the average citizen has to wait years and years for any semblance of justice. Now there are nuances here that I'm glossing over, and there's a big distinction between state legislation and civil litigation. But the point I'm making here is that I have my doubts that there would have been this massive revolution in state law if this had happened to an average person. And I'm sure there were plenty of cases just like Michael's before him that didn't receive the royal treatment from the political elites in Florida's government. But at the end of the day, any positive change should be welcomed with open arms. And by no means am I saying that Michael deserves any less justice than anyone else simply because of his social status. I'm glad he had the means and the ability to affect change on such a grand scale. I just wish the rest of Florida's residents had that same ability. That's all I got for you today, folks. I wanted to make a video that wasn't as emotionally taxing as the videos that I've been covering recently on this channel. And I don't want you to come to this channel expecting doom and gloom every time. That's not the focus of my work or the point of this channel. And if you decide to stick around, I'm sure that'll become apparent pretty quickly. As always, I sincerely appreciate you watching this video to the end. It really does help the channel grow and reach new people that it might not have otherwise. If you'd like to see more stories like this one and help me get back into the algorithm's good graces, then don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Again, thank you for spending your time with me. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
DUI arrest, where evidence later proved the driver was not under the influence, led police to look at other arrests where the facts also don't match the charges.
The City of Commerce has fired an officer after he repeatedly charged innocent drivers with being drunk or on drugs.
He was one of at least 11 people falsely arrested by a Fort Collins cop for DUI, and now he's behind one of 5 lawsuits seeking justice.
Chief Investigative Reporter Jeremy Finley found more than 600 Tennesseans have been arrested for DUI and were completely sober.
Not just here in Tennessee, but across the nation, we're finding sober people are being arrested for DUI. And a recent study questions whether field sobriety tests are always reliable.